This podcast contains discussions about sensitive topics, including mental health, alcohol and substance use, as well as suicide. It may also include strong language. The viewpoints expressed by guests do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the hosts. Listener discretion is advised. If you or someone you know needs support, please reach out to a trusted professional or a helpline.
Welcome back, viewers. Hello, viewers.
Hello.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome to another episode of Twist the Throttle. We've got Dyson from New Zealand. Thank you very much for joining us. Yeah, you're our inaugural Zoom messenger. Sorry, I keep saying Zoom. It's not Zoom. We've got a Zoom messenger.
Yeah. So, mental health nurse, advocate, sister of one of our Rust Nuts, Disco. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Not long woken up. I've just been slogging the week away in night shift.
The life of a nurse, eh?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So we did this once before and you weren't too happy with the result. You wanted to go a little bit deeper. So I thought we'd have another crack at it. So
We had technical difficulties.
difficulties are like a motherfucker. This thing is not easy to learn. So
We're getting there.
getting there.
So we just have to keep an eye on that little green light. As long as that green light's there, we're recording.
Next job.
the cat's technical supervisor sitting down there.
He is sitting there. I'm not going to move the cameras because it'll take a while to set them all up.
All right, mate, we'll start it off with our normal questions that we do. So what do you ride or what's your dream bike?
At the moment, I've got a Kawasaki 650. My dad built it for me.
Oh,
So
nice.
It's pretty sentimental. Done quite a bit of riding on it. I've been over quite a distant part of New Zealand. Not all the way to the top, not all the way to the bottom. So got heaps more rides to do.
Yeah.
Kawasaki runs in the blood.
Pardon?
Kawasaki must run in the blood because Dyson's got one too, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. What's your dream bike?
I wouldn't mind a Triumph Speed Triple.
British bikes, nice.
But I still definitely like that sports sort of street style setup though.
Yeah.
Do you fix your own bikes?
Minimally.
Yeah.
Do your maintenance and that?
I can't be trusted alone yet.
What was your first bike?
It was probably a dirt bike. I think it was a TS 185. We bought it for like a boxer piss. We went up somewhere out in the country, back in Melbourne, to pick it up. And I think we got it going with that petrol stuff that you spray into the air filters.
Start your bike.
Yeah, start your bike.
Yeah. And boom, next minute, boxer piss.
I always love it. Like you get a lot more done for a boxer piss than you will for $100 sometimes. Like
That's it, eh?
the Australian currency.
But if you could ride anywhere and with anyone, where would it be?
I'd probably just have another holiday tour with my family. Really good times doing that.
Unbelievable.
So, gotta get the young professionals here. They got his phone on silent. You good?
I'm not sure where we'd ride to though, as long as you got good company and you ride the good ride. So
I'm a big believer in the company makes the ride, not the scenery. Yeah.
I like both, but
Sometimes it's better to ride alone. Who's your favourite person to ride with at the moment?
I'm gonna just ride by myself.
So you're your favourite person?
Yeah.
Do you prefer riding alone?
We do club rides with maybe up to 30 people, and then larger events when we're going to poker runs or hosting them, there can be hundreds of bikes there. Definitely not my preference, but you got to do your job.
do you normally ride up the front, in the middle, or at the back?
A bit of both. It depends sort of what my role is on the day. I normally do a lot of photography work and stuff
nice.
like that. I normally just sort of tag in at the back in the end after I've taken my photos.
Yeah,
and
cool.
reels and
There's lots of nice places in New Zealand to get pictures like that.
Oh,
You got any favourite roads or destinations in New Zealand you like riding to?
the road between my house, I live in Hamilton, and our bike club at Sulphur City, it's actually a pretty good ride
Yeah.
over the Mamaku Ranges.
Oh, I got to get over there.
It is a bloody beautiful place, mate.
Yeah, I've worked out I'm not going to get a passport in time to make it over for the Sulphur City thing.
Who's your favourite person to ride with now?
Usually my brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like riding with
Yeah,
one
we've
of
done some
them.
pretty cool trips together.
I haven't actually rode with Benny yet, but I've done a few miles with the Disco now.
He posted up a picture of his old dirt bike. Or was that his current bike?
I'm not sure. I saw one out there.
What's
Oh,
been?
that's one of the current bikes. He doesn't use, that's sort of just like the one they built around the farm. He races on those little mud bugs with Dad. So.
Oh, love it. Sick. What's your favourite type of food when you're out on the road? Are you a servo stop munchy girl?
I'm more
or
of a coffee person.
coffee person?
Unfortunately, it means more toilet stops.
Both ends of coffee.
Yes, yeah, something quick. Like I don't like to have huge feeds weighing me down, wearing all that gear. But yeah, I guess going for a ride with some fish and chips at the beach or something is always a good time though.
Yeah,
so.
I love that.
You were unleaded or premium type girl or what?
I just go for 91.
91.
Cheapest. You're a cheap one.
My bike runs a 98 just because I paid so fucking much for it. I'm assuming that's what it's supposed to have.
Yeah.
It's a Harley.
You're also talking to someone that's never owned a new bike before.
Yeah, it's overrated. You're just constantly scared someone's going to scratch it.
Yeah, that's it. So who's the better cook in your family?
I'm definitely up there. Probably Chris.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're a household of cooks, so
Nice.
maybe we'll have to have a cookout and determine this with
Big part of growing up.
behind it.
Big part of growing up in the kitchen, or
Yeah, we have quite a big family too, so.
Love it. I'm going to dig in a bit deeper this time, mate. So, any big events before the age of 3 that shaped you? It's a weird question. I'm sure you gave me something that made that question happen.
Well, this is quite interesting. During my years of study, we talk about these things we call adverse childhood events, medical events or traumatic events that can happen to a child under the age of 3. It actually has a lot of influence on your psychological wiring in terms of anxiety levels, PTSD response, and can also, have issues with attachment and depressive episodes.
Yeah.
Myself, I'd actually had a couple of operations before the age of 3, and those would still count. Things like having anesthesia as well.
Effect on a growing brain for sure.
Exactly. I was playing with my brother one day, got pushed out the tree, landed straight on my face, completely snapped my face up. My mum couldn't even take me down the supermarket because people were...
What did you do to her?
Broken nose, black eyes.
Yeah, and it's actually not something that I even had considered had affected my psychological well-being throughout my whole life. So it's something I only clicked onto in my 30s. What's that like?
Yeah, once it's too late to work it out, you go like, oh, I kind of understand that now. Do you think those early years help shape the resilience later in life, or more issues or resilience, you reckon?
The preparation for being in unpredictable situations has given me that, having that career in psychiatry, the early part of my career, definitely gave me the skills needed for people reading and being prepared for a situation not to go your way and having a backup plan or a way out.
Yeah. Do you get a lot of family support through those years?
I've always had a lot of family support, and I mean, it's an interesting kind of question though, because family love can look like so many different things.
Oh, hell yeah.
And like even if loving family doesn't always have peaceful times day to day, we can still be fighting and support each other and stuff. So even like the good times, there's like shadows of bad and vice versa.
So what role did your grandmother play?
I've got 2 grandmas who I was very close with. My dad's mother, she lived in Mount Waverley, and we all grew up there when we were infants and preschool children. I feel sorry for my poor dad because we moved to Sunbury when I was about 6, and he would drive me to Mount Waverley every weekend
just to go
stay with my grandma, then drive back and pick me up.
Yeah.
On his only days off.
So that was your choice?
Yeah, and I mean, my parents went back to work very quickly after having kids, so our grandma did a lot of the raising of myself and my older brother.
Yeah, was she strict or soft?
No, she was pretty soft actually, in contrast to my other grandma who's quite strict.
Super strict. Was that the one you end up moving to with rural life at 10?
That's the strict one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from your first grandma being young kids, are there any lessons that you carry from her today?
I think that spending a lot of time around older people when you're a small child actually teaches you a lot of patience.
They don't do much in a hurry.
No, they don't do much in a hurry, but they're also not undergoing the same sort of stresses that your parents are in terms of like putting the bread on the table, getting you to everything that you need to be done. And
it's a bit more stress because they're old and they can't be bothered doing it anymore.
Yeah, well, they're kind of in that like retired,
I've already done this.
part of life.
Why am I doing it again? That's what my parents were like anyway.
When you moved up to the country with your grandma, was that when you were 10 in Australia or in New Zealand?
That was in New Zealand. So,
okay. How old were you when you went back over? Or went over?
So we all like individually got sent over to our grandparents' house as children, sort of around that age of 10. I guess it ended up turning into a bit of a family ritual, rite of passage kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
And sort of, I think I lasted the longest. I stayed with my grandparents maybe 10 months, pretty much the majority of the school year. Then I came back to Australia.
Did you love that time or hate it?
It was very much a different experience for me. Growing up in Sunbury, we didn't really have a lot of frosty weather.
So it would have been a
Getting
shock.
up and skating across the pig trough, smashing every puddle on the way to school. Quite a lot of differences in how children in the classroom are around here. Kiwi kids pretty much don't wear shoes.
Hate those memories or you love them?
And I look back at them quite fondly. My grandparents were definitely a lot stricter than my parents. That was a learning curve, but children learn fast and they adapt quickly. They were very consistent, so they might have been strict, but the rules were the rules, and so it was quite easy to follow them because they were always the same.
Yeah, I love that.
ADHD showed up for you when you were a kid. How was that for you?
Okay.
Let's go.
I mean, personally, it wasn't something that I sort of noticed and sort was brought to my attention, like seeing pediatricians and stuff like that, especially in those first couple of years, like prep, year one. I didn't notice much in terms of social differences and interactions at that point. It was probably a little bit later on in primary school, but I got diagnosed at age 6 with ADHD, maybe like a year or so.
That's pretty young. Were you medicated from a young age?
Yeah, from then.
So Ritalin?
Was Ritalin. And then catapress to sleep.
Yeah, crazy.
I liked Ritalin back then.
Ritalin's good if you don't need it.
Did the teachers understand it?
I definitely had some teachers that were a lot more understanding than others. And so I had teachers that absolutely loved and adored me. Like I was their favourite student. Or 1 out of 5 teachers that just absolutely hated you.
Yeah.
There was not a lot in between.
Bit disruptive. Was it hard making friends or reading or?
There was definitely times where it was a bit harder making friends. Your behaviour was a little bit different. We were quite wild children in my household. So what was socially acceptable behaviour around my siblings and cousins is not quite the same as what would be okay at school. You know, because we're quite physical children. So like fighting was never out of the question because they're not allowed to do that at school.
Did that make you feel like an outsider at school?
Yes, because you would go off to the nurse's room at lunchtime to get your pills. You're already missing the start of playtime, so you can't even. You're already excluded.
They'd already have their little game going, and you couldn't break in.
And the other kids knew that you were, it was something that come up on school camp and other stuff. So other kids knew you were taking medication.
Yeah.
And they did. I think there was maybe 5 kids or something in my school.
All doing the same thing.
I was aware of. That were on ADHD medication, so it was very, very rare back then, I guess.
Yeah.
What do you think would have helped you back then?
To be fair, I'm not sure. Like, it's one of those things, like, I guess you'd never know what things would have been like if, you'd tried other methods. My mum was really good in terms of making sure we went to sports. We were engaged in sporting activities most nights of the week and pretty much all weekend. Always out on our bikes at the park and doing things. She kept us very active.
So you guys are street like kids as well.
Maybe a little bit more supervision than some of them at times. But she was also quite mindful of what we were eating. And to be fair, I guess in the early 90s, that wasn't actually something that was spoken about that much.
Yeah. Red cordial.
Yes. Yeah, red cordial and there are certain, even certain breads.
Dyes and whatnot. Yeah.
It's like low GI type. Yeah.
It really, and she said it made a difference. As children, I guess you're kind of relying on their memories at that time.
And ADHD kind of does screw with your brain a bit as far as memories go, like not being able to form memories and stuff like that. Yeah, been a big part of my life.
So do you think kids have got it easier now than what they did back when you were younger in regards to ADHD?
It's definitely a different experience for them.
I think it's more readily accepted these days that there is and the whole thing is, everyone, I saw something the other day that made me laugh. It was like, a comedian said, "Oh, I've got ADHD," and he goes, "Yes, I know. In this day and age, fucking everyone's got ADHD, but I've got the, I'm not on the spectrum. I'm on the roof." As kids, we just did some weird shit for no reason. For some reason, climbing was a big thing.
Yeah, we used to push the trampoline under the eaves of the house and sort of do jumps and stuff off the roof. Out of the gum tree.
So do you reckon it's made you a stronger person?
I think so. Yeah. And I definitely see people get quite jealous of the amount of energy I have some days. Unfortunately, I do suffer from the ADHD burnout as well, so it's definitely not every day. But
so how's it shaped you as an adult compared to a kid?
It definitely made me have to go and learn about my different learning techniques and how to educate myself. Yeah. That was a big part of preparing myself for university and being successful.
Now?
No, I haven't taken medication since I was about 12 years old. I told my mum that I wanted to learn to manage without it and that I'd never figure that out if I was taking it. And so we went and talked to my doctor and figured out titration plan. And
nice.
I pretty much haven't had any since. I might have tried it a couple times just for study, grabbing one off a friend or something, but it just never felt quite right for me.
Do you think bikes calm you down?
Definitely. I guess now this is probably a different perspective than you hear from some of the boys, because there's definitely some days where I don't think I'm safe to get on a bike and I don't do that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
We have times when I've gone, no, not today.
Yeah. I went one of our big 4 rides last weekend, and one of the boys called me up and goes, mate, I just
got a bad
feeling. Do you mind if I don't come? And I'm like, no, man, trust your gut. There's obviously something out there. Someone talking to you. I don't question the universe. That's all you, mate. I'm not going to hold it against you. So, teenage years, what was it like moving countries at 16?
Cool. That was definitely a culture shock. Coming from Melbourne City, and we moved to Rotorua, so a sizable town difference. I think the buses there stopped at like 6:30 p.m.
Oh, wow.
You know, so from being able to get on a tram, train, or bus and go wherever I wanted any time of day or night, it was a bit of a...
The whole town's shut at 6:30.
I mean, I did know how to drive, not quite legally yet, so I did sort that out as quick as I could, because that was kind of the only way for youth to get around here.
It does get bloody cold in Rotorua sometimes too, doesn't it?
Yes.
Because you've got Narahoi, Tongariro and Ruapehu all close by too, so it snows a lot around
there are parts of town that aren't as cold as others.
geothermos.
Yeah.
You've seen their geysers, they're fucking awesome.
Well, funnily enough, I used to work at the hotel right next to the geyser. It's actually been knocked down now.
Went over at 10 for 10 months. Come back at 16 for good.
Yep.
Did you feel like you fit in and belonged straight away when you came back the second time?
Definitely not. It was definitely easier the first time, but that was in a very small rural town. My family are really well known down there. I've lived there for generations. People knew my cousins, my grandma. Moving to Rotorua was a little bit different. I didn't know anybody.
But you would have been that cool Aussie chick that come over. Yes, no.
I did get a little bit of that. A few of them didn't quite know how to take me.
You're weird.
Yeah. There was a small bit of communication difficulties too. Wasn't quite up to play on all the Kiwi lingo. Luckily, having Kiwi cousins and speaking to them on a regular basis, I did have the general gist.
Kind of catch up,
I really struggled with certain vowel sounds, like the difference between saying over here and people talking about here.
Oh, yeah.
And there was just a few that, you know.
Amber catches me out on that occasionally. There's a few little accents, and I was kind of like, what the fuck's he talking? Oh, yeah, I think I got it.
So I had to learn it through primary school, Māori. So I learned quite a lot. And when I hang out with Māori people around here, I kind of pick it up again. Catch it again.
I'm not going to lie, I'm hearing the twang come out more and more the longer this call goes on, guys.
Did you have a plan after school?
Wow. I quit school because I wanted to make money. I was sick of school. I felt like they had taught me all that I could learn in the classroom at that time. I mean, I was already in the top classes, even though I was kind of bombing out. Mostly because I didn't go, not because I couldn't do the work. I kind of wanted to party a bit more.
Yeah.
I left school so I could work, and then I could buy what I wanted, which was mostly, unfortunately, at that time, cigarettes.
Yeah.
Fun times. We did a lot of concerts and stuff.
The fun stuff.
Yeah.
What did you want to be back then?
Well, I had signed up all my high school papers to lead me into nursing. So I was doing biology, health science, sociology, advanced English, stuff like that. So I guess there was always a lot of push from my family to go into nursing. It's definitely a family career, like multi-generational. And I would even go as far as saying I was classically conditioned.
That's what you're doing.
I had very detailed body books as a child. I could name all the bones in the body before I even started high school.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, coming from my mum's
It is that nature versus nurture of knowledge, isn't it? Like, if you're taught that, I say the same thing with musical people. If you grow up watching your mum play guitar, you'll be able to pick one up and play it, whereas it's not happening for me.
Got my dad's sister, she's a psychiatric nurse up in Coffs Harbour. She's been pretty much a nurse her whole career, and she was definitely like a inspiration to me as well. I know that I haven't actually followed her career path in the end. You know, she worked hard and has done a lot of traveling and worked all over sort of thing. And I guess for myself, I definitely started my career off the same, but then settled in and got locked into educational grants and stuff to help get my loans down faster and sort of have a less flexibility when you can
get someone else is paying for it.
Yeah.
So you did a military training course. What did that teach you?
Wow, that was a life-changing experience. The one thing I was constantly yelled at by them was sense of urgency.
Get it done now!
I told you to get it done.
So I definitely learned to shut my mouth a lot more too, you know, like not just blurting things out and being a bit more thoughtful. If you've only got that one sentence to ask a question, you're going to ask the question that's going to get you the best response versus...
So mostly discipline or confidence? What was it?
It was a very mixed experience because we were children, even though we were young adults, late teens. They were from all over the country. Some of them there were court ordered because they've been caught breaking the law, and I guess,
do you want to go to prison or do you want to go to this camp? Yeah.
Is that kind of the other option for them? There was quite a lot that were on the dole and were in breach of their dole conditions. So
I did PD.
Yeah.
Mine was traffic offences, though.
They didn't offer it to you?
No, they didn't offer it to me. I did PD. I actually went and built a floating stage in New Plymouth.
That's still pretty cool. Is it the theatre?
The theatre, you know where the theatre is, the bowl?
No, but I know what a floating stage is.
Yeah, there we go.
Any standout memories from that time?
Definitely. It would probably be the 5-day hike we did over the Southern Alps. So you're pretty much carrying everything that you need. We camped in pairs. So sort of one of you would carry the tent and the other one would carry a little bit more supplies. I was the tent carrier. I got lumped with that one.
It's a beautiful part of the world down there too.
It was absolutely amazing. Yeah. It was breathtaking views, but unfortunately we ended up having to double back because it snowed that much. We are walking in knee-deep snow now. Yeah. And like these army fellas are tough, so if they could legally and safely have made us do that, they definitely would have.
Yeah, but our frostbite wasn't part of the brochure.
Yeah, I think one of the boys, it was funny because this is like the second last week, right? So like once you've done this walk, you've practically graduated, yeah? And he didn't put his warms on when we stopped on the last night.
Right.
And clearly he did that intentionally, right? So that was also one of the reasons because, then we had like a couple of people who they were sort of treating for hypothermia.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Which is weird because I thought you've only got like 4 days left. Why would you
ruin it? Yeah. That's right. So you're finding your feet in work. What did the early jobs really teach you?
That I didn't want to work for minimum wage, first off.
Did you learn people skills from that hospitality? Or?
Definitely a lot of people skills and just having to dig in and do some of the dirty work.
Yeah. Earn your money.
Makes you tough.
Yeah, and I think it also taught me for what kind of employers I didn't want to work for. I had quite a variety when I was in hospitality, and some were good, some weren't so good.
Any funny stories from that time? Tough stories from that days?
Talking about that hotel, it's fully knocked down now, so I can tell you. So we used to get on the piss. We used to go into town, and then we'd end up back at this hotel. I would sneak in through the back, jump over the reception desk, grab the keys for the hot pools out of the cash room. Then I would go and let all my mates and brothers into the hot pools or whoever was partying with us that night, and we would just go and have a party in the hot pool block.
Yeah,
that sounds fun.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Greg, if you happen to hear it.
So from breaking into hot pools to studying law. How did you get into that? What drew you to studying law?
Well, I guess it's one of those things that affects all of us every single day, whether we choose to accept it or not. There are laws and policies in place that dictate our lives and how we live them and pretty much what we're going through day to day.
Yeah, we're from Victoria. We know all about it.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to ride with friends?
Not allowed to feel anything either.
No.
I'm an avid reader as well. So I was definitely inspired by some fictional characters and just learning more. I've always had a thirst for knowledge as well, so I also am quite an avid reader in non-fiction as well. So
yeah, bit of a hyper focus.
Yeah, like to know things.
What made you walk away from that?
I think it just wasn't at the right time in my life. I did find some of the longer written content in terms of like, what ones was it? Like more like drafting sale and purchase agreements because they're just so long. I found some of that stuff just a little bit harder.
Bit monotonous.
Yeah, I like excelled at like writing trust.
Yeah, so it wasn't courtroom law, it was the legal type of stuff, yeah?
Yeah.
Drafting.
Definitely demand, all of that kind of stuff. That stuff was easy, all the debt collection side of things, all the trust and estate side of things, easy as. It was just, more around the property and business law I actually didn't do as well. They're really, really, as you know, you get sale and purchase agreements about this thick, so to be able to write one of those out, it's a long concentration span.
Yeah.
How'd that go, Betty?
Yeah, and I did go through some personal issues that year as well. I did have a housing situation set up and it kind of didn't work out. Maybe like 2/3 through the year, I had to find somewhere else to live. So I moved in with my uncle after that, and he lived in Te Puke, so it's it's not a huge drive, but
far enough to make it awkward.
It's not 5 minutes up the road either, though. So
it says here that you started caring for your grandmother. How'd that change you?
Ooh.
Around the same time?
Actually, a lot. It definitely changed our relationship as well.
Now you were the one making the rules.
Well, patriarch of the family as well. I think it'd be really hard for someone to accept that your youngest granddaughter is the person now caring for you.
Yeah.
Would have made you grow up quicker.
I think so. It definitely taught me more responsibility outside myself, and definitely the fundamentals of caring for a human.
So change your views on family?
Yes.
Yeah?
I think so. Because, I mean, there was definitely times where we have not had the best relationship and I still would have done what I'd done.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and even there was days where, you know, she wasn't exactly the nicest person to care for either, and you still get up and do it again the next day, or make sure she has everyone's tucked into bed that night.
So from there, we went into mental health work. You told us a story that you showed up late, a bit frazzled, not quite ready for the first interview, and they still got the job.
I still got the job.
What do you think they saw in you that first time?
Probably, first of all, a cheaper employee than anyone else. They had very experienced staff, so someone young, interested in learning, enthusiastic about being there. I was very excited that they did decide to meet me. I hadn't actually applied for this job. A friend of mine that worked there
suggested you
to set it up.
Nice.
How did it feel getting that job? Pretty good.
It did feel pretty good. And while I was at that job, my same friend, because we were flatmates, we lived together. There was one night that I actually had gotten too drunk. I think I downed a couple of bottles of homebrew with some of my friends. I was on a shift that day, and she woke me up. She was heading off to work too. And I woke up and she's like, look at you, you're still drunk. You can't go to work. And if you try, I'm going to ring. So you'll probably get fired if you do go. So you're probably just best to take it on the chin and get told off for calling in sick.
That's responsible of them.
So my 21-year-old me was kind of taken aback by that, because I never really had anyone say anything like that to me before.
A wake-up call?
Yeah, she was right. And that's when I first started looking at my drinking and my habits. That was the first time. It caused me issues with careers and stuff over the years. It's not something that you just have an alcohol problem one day.
Yeah.
You know, there was years and years and years of issues, but this is the first time that it was like
pointed out to you.
Like that, by someone that wasn't perhaps family as well.
When did it first click that this was the right thing for you, the right career path?
It was easy.
Yeah.
It just like everything fell into place. I mean, I'm definitely a believer of spirituality and divine timing and things like that. And there is some sort of destiny and fate that has got a play in your hand at life. I just felt that everything was so easy. It all just fell into place. I got the job, then I got into the course, then I got the next job, and then I got into the nursing school. Like, it was just, and got so much support from these workplaces to continue studying and push myself with that flexibility of still being able to earn a really decent living for my age anyway.
Was there a moment with a client that made you go, hey, this is what I want to do?
There was definitely a couple of times with clients where I've been kind of freaked out, especially in my younger years, you know, just because these people have never really had someone perhaps be really nice and caring and attentive to them, and, you know, it can get taken the wrong way. So I definitely had quite a few more negative experiences in my earlier career. Also, just that feeling of going and helping someone clean their whole house out because, you know, they've been too depressed to get out of bed for a couple of days. Just knowing that you've helped them and that it's something that they probably really couldn't have done by themselves that week. You definitely get a satisfaction from that, and it's very deep in the soul.
Definitely. Was it having those people believe in you, was that gave you the confidence to go into nursing now? Or?
Definitely. My manager at the time was a nurse, one of the head nurses from the ED department in our small town. She'd not long been managing this trust that I was working for. She said to me a couple of years later, when I was nearly at the finish line, and she said, thank you so much, because by achieving your goal, you've helped me achieve mine. It's always been my goal to use this company to support workers to train into professional fields like nursing, social work.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. So she was giving her time for exactly what you did.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I won there.
That's awesome.
So why did you leap into nursing?
I want to talk one more thing about the support in the workplace, because it was the first place I'd ever worked where I thought the other staff were as weird as I was. I never got made to feel like I was a little bit too much. They had polite ways of telling you you're using your outside voice right now and, you know, redirecting you when you were perhaps being fidgety in the wrong time, stuff like that. We had a rule that I wasn't allowed anywhere near a pen in staff meetings, but I did have like these little stuffed animals I was allowed to take.
Yeah.
Just that small amount of flexibility and acceptance. And
I had a mate who used to have the hand signal of just dial it down. It was never a said thing, but it was just when he could see I was getting worked up, he's like, calm it down. And that was all older bloke I worked with that really took me under his wing.
Quick moment to reset.
Yeah, it makes you realise, oh shit, I am starting to hype out a little bit here.
Good. What sent me into nursing? Wow, I'd already done a couple of years study at that point, and I was kind of in a block path. There was only one way up for me unless I wanted to go down the social sciences route. You talk to any nurse and most people will say that social work is overworked, underpaid. So that didn't sound like a great
Yeah,
idea.
You're like, I can go make some money.
There was already a huge social work component to all the roles that I've worked in anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't miss out on that part of the work. It's just not your primary responsibility.
So did somebody actually steer you down the path of what you're doing? Somebody help you into it or not?
Not really. I got in on my own academic merit and through my own interview questions. It was helpful that I do a lot in the community, being involved in multiple sports clubs, Sulphur City Motorcycle Club. At that point, I'd already quit my career to go care for my grandmother. I'd done multiple years of babysitting and childcare. And I already had more than a year's worth of support work under my belt as well. So I guess they're prime candidate, probably a bit mouthy, but...
So you had a little bit of a setback and failed a paper?
Yeah.
How did you bounce back from that?
It took a while. So full disclosure, I was seeing someone. It wasn't working out well. We were pregnant. I went for an abortion. I really struggled to get my head quite right. That year with a lot going on. I was very unwell during the time. So I kind of put that to the side. I did have to actually have a bit of a legal battle with the school. I wouldn't go as far as saying legal, but I did tell them that my lawyer would be taking things from here
if they didn't start listening.
We couldn't come to an agreement. And it didn't help that I was an outspoken person. So we had a couple of clashes before. I'd failed one paper and they tried to be like, well, you failed this one too, even though I had submissions sitting there. I did those submissions.
Did you think about quitting or what helped you push through?
It definitely crossed my mind. I'd already probably invested like 60 grand at that point and nearly 3 years of my time. So plus the year of sport.
Backing out wasn't really an option.
It really wasn't. So I was like looking at the barrel of this loan going, how the heck am I going to pay this if I don't? So as part of my healing that year, I actually went and got a job in childcare, working with small children. I kind of found myself at the point where I was really struggling to connect with children and feeling okay around that. I guess that's
was part of that the abortion, you reckon? Or
I struggled to be around children in my own family.
Yeah.
I did the old rip the plaster off and pretty much forced myself into desensitization.
What did childcare teach you about nursing?
Being comfortable around other people's children and like telling them what to do, just learning child appropriate language, giving child instructions, depending on the age group can be a very different type of instruction but also learning a little bit more around communicating with the parents as well when their child's involved. That's a whole kettle of fish.
Oh, for sure. I do adult education and I start most of my classes with, is anybody going to be offended by any swearing or bad language? If everyone says no, I'm like, thank fuck, because it would be a really long day. You're here to drive a forklift. If you can't handle someone telling you to shut the fuck up, you're in for a bad day.
I love that.
Dealing with kids, teach you patience and juggling stress better, or how'd you go with that?
Definitely taught me a lot about patience, but I guess it also taught me that work can also be quite a fun time as well. Working in childcare.
I love spending time with kids. They just... no filter.
They tell you what they want to think.
Those walk up to you and go like, you're
ugly.
You're fat. And you're like, shut up.
I know. Thanks for telling me for the third time today.
I didn't know.
Why don't you have a boyfriend?
Parties, every day, it was a good time. So literally 8 hours of playing and you.
Are you a professional finger painter?
Well, funnily enough, that means something totally different than nursing.
I can imagine.
Okay, we're not going to go there.
I
kind of want to.
After the call.
What did you love most about the community nursing?
I definitely liked getting out and about. I definitely liked working with people in their own environment, so trying to make their own environment more accessible for them and what they're actually dealing with day to day, because when you're nursing someone in a hospital environment or even at your office, you're not getting a glimpse of what their experience is back at home. So it's a really good way to get an assessment of whether they actually do have food in the house. Is their kitchen clean? Are they managing their day-to-day tasks? Someone can have a shower and come in and that could be the only shower they've had that fortnight. So that's actually not giving me a picture of
exactly
what your life's like.
Yep.
And you really do need to know that information to be able to have that impactful conversation with them to help them realize the way that they want to live. I mean, some people are okay with living that way, and if that's okay with you, then who might say that it's not for you? It's definitely not for everyone, and they're only in that state because they're unwell. And
so why the big switch to landscaping?
Was it a break from nursing to help someone out?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Just wanted a bit of a change.
It was definitely a time for me to change. I wasn't agreeing with some of the government policies that were being processed at the time.
Yep.
So it was definitely a time for me to step back in my career. Unfortunately, I had really turned down my dream position, working between the university, my employer, in a role that I'd developed myself, primarily focused on education, which has always been a passion of mine, but also teaching other nurses and training support staff so that they could be at that level as well. I pretty much had all the ink was wet on the contracts and stuff.
And you turned it down.
In some ways.
Yeah.
I was given an ultimatum and I said no.
Okay. Yeah. So you went and helped Benny out.
Yeah, I did a little bit of work for myself actually first. I was doing a little bit of more organic style gardening, helping people with their vegetable patches, stuff like that. And I called it clearing, odd jobs, but everything I had.
Special organic gardening, right?
Wow. I was talking more about tomatoes and stuff.
The non-flowering Mexican type.
And I just turned out
They do flower. They smell good too. So it was a bit of a change of pace when you come into the landscaping. From nursing, you would have been busy, and then into a bit of gardening, calm the nerves down.
Less brain, more body work, right?
Well, I was offered a couple of different roles. Once people heard that I was a free agent, they were like, "Oh, you're looking for another job now." But people I'd worked with over the years, and now working with different services and stuff, trying to fill their staff and positions. And I had a couple of people reach out as a private nanny as well. Nothing felt like the right fit. I didn't even really look into them. I was just like, no, pretty much straight away. I started doing bits and pieces, gardening, landscaping, and then started working with my brother, I think December that year.
So
we've done little cash jobs over the years together, but nothing ever quite,
What dragged you back into the agency nursing? What's that look like now?
Well, after a couple of years of landscaping, it definitely wasn't for me anymore. I'd lost my passion in my own garden. I've only just gotten the place looking nice again. It's kind of like the builder with the leaky roof and the mechanical part.
Gardening was my punishment as a kid, like mowing the lawn and weeding the gardens and that sort
Guess you don't like it very
I
much now.
fucking hate it now.
That's why you don't have a garden.
Yeah, now I've got AstroTurf everywhere with dog shit all over it.
What about the new one?
Rocks.
That's all right. You wash rocks. How did drinking young affect you?
Skip through.
All right.
Agency nursing, was it stressful being the new kid every shift?
Oh, I don't know which one you'd answer now.
Yeah, go for me.
Fight for it. No, Jude.
He'd kick my ass. He's just like, yeah. It's not a debate.
It is definitely stressful. I'm quite lucky. I've probably worked the most hours at the one place this week. I only did one shift at a separate hospital. Working at the same place regularly definitely helps, but it's also because you're only sort of doing sporadic shifts here, there, everywhere, because I think I probably worked at maybe 10 different hospitals in my region.
Do you thrive on that variety or prefer the one place?
It's good in some aspects.
I was picturing it in my head then. It'd be a lot more funner because you could muck up a little bit. It doesn't really matter because who knows you, and so, you make a bit more of a joke about it.
At this hospital, I've got a Jamaican accent.
That's right.
I'm definitely going to try that next time.
Yeah, man, I'm the new nurse. I don't know where that came from, sorry.
How did drinking young affect you?
I think it definitely messed up my priorities in terms of what I should have been focusing on, especially once I started earning money. That was pretty much all going on booze. Like my costs were covered and stuff like that, but I wasn't stacking. I certainly wasn't really going and buying myself treats and stuff. The booze was the treat. Lots of young ladies that age, they're all buying new clothes, getting their hair done, this and that. Get a box from the shops. Couldn't even legally buy it, and I was still spending all my money on that.
How did you break the cycle?
Well, it wasn't a huge break in the cycle until my early 20s when...
What was the turning point then?
Was too drunk to go to work that night.
That's
and,
it. That
was definitely a huge turning point. I guess I'd had sort of little nudges over the years, but nothing that was enough to truly push me off my course. So
yeah, right.
Have you got any advice for somebody that's struggling with alcohol?
I think being open and honest with your friends and family about what you're trying to achieve and why.
Yep.
So that they can support you. I found that the hardest part was trying to explain to people why I didn't want to drink with them when you were out somewhere. Because, I'm still a very social person, so I do like to go out and...
Yeah, so New Zealand culture and Australian culture are very similar. We're very alcohol Like you catch up with your mate for a beer. You don't just catch up with your mate.
Going to the rugby, let's have a beer.
You gotta meet me at the pub, not just come over to my place and sit on the couch. It's
different, and
it's definitely ingrained in our society a lot, culturally.
And it doesn't have to be an awkward conversation. In fact, there is nothing shameful about deciding that you want better for yourself, you know, and it's actually the people who are trying to push you into not making healthy choices for yourself really should be that.
Probably people you need to change.
I've joined a few more groups. As you can imagine, I didn't play much soccer growing up as a child in Melbourne.
Yeah.
I joined a soccer team in my early 20s.
Still going now, right?
Yeah, still going now, nearly 14 years later.
Crazy. So,
Yeah.
So what sports did you play as a kid? Netball and
I was a competitive horse.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Horse girl.
Obviously spoiled as a child.
Yeah. It's
a bit
okay.
of rugby league as well.
Yeah.
I played all the sports for the school because you got the whole day off.
Yeah.
But yeah, so go and find new communities, new groups and stuff, you know, like just because the people you normally spend time with aren't, you know, being supportive of what kind of lifestyle changes you're trying to make. It doesn't mean that there's not people out there who are on that sort of same vibe as you.
I kind of went the opposite way. I left all of my sports teams to get away from the drinking. Yeah.
The one good thing about women's soccer is it's played on a Sunday, and most girls don't really want to get drunk on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. And stop us at baseball.
I have found with certain sports teams, especially softball, that there was quite a lot of drinking. So I'd normally ride my motorbike because then they'd only offer you one beer.
Yeah.
And you jump over the turnstiles.
Oh.
And then you lost your bike. But when you told me that story first, I thought, fuck, she must be a pretty good rider. You jump the turnstiles.
Oh, that was hilarious.
The funny thing was, I knew what you meant, and I saw what he understood. And I was like, hang on, no.
I really kind of want to try that now. I've always wanted to try
like Steve McQueen your way onto the train station.
That's what I was going through my head, and I thought, she must be a great dirt bike rider.
We used to ride them upstairs.
Yeah. We got a question here that you may not want to answer. How do you think cannabis helps you with ADHD?
I guess me personally,
At a younger age.
it's definitely the slowing effects and being able to linear sort of think into one topic, as opposed to sometimes I see it like you're on a train, right, and you're trying to go this direction, but you've got practically someone throwing rocks at the train both sides. I found that it kind of made the rocks either stop or at least
Slow down.
slow down a little.
Yeah.
Or come in with less force.
Sort of a balance for you.
Definitely at least like slowing down the thoughts, being able to focus a bit more on one topic or the one thing I'm trying to get done. But also the restless legs.
Yeah.
You know, can actually make me be able to
stop
sit
bouncing
down,
the leg. Yeah.
sit still for a period of time so you can actually finish the book.
Yeah.
Whatever it is you're trying to do.
Is it still part of your routine today?
I'm an honest person, so I'm not going to say no. I won't go too further into it.
It's still...
I feel that our referendums that we had here in New Zealand weren't fair and just as well, especially when it comes to the use of that.
Worldwide, it's just a matter of time. The government just has to work out how they get the most tax out of it, and it'll be fine.
And the fact that you can buy booze at every corner shop.
Driving drunk is fucking terrible. Driving stoned, mate, I'm so much a better driver when I'm stoned. Oh, much
It's
more.
not like you're going to go far. You're just going to get a feed and go home.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you ever seen the movie Tommy Boy?
No.
It's an old movie, Chris Farley movie, and they pull him over. He's driving this really hotted up car and is smoking all the weed. And they get pulled over by the cops. The cop goes, "Do you know how fast you were going?" And he's like, "You know, this car's hotted up. I've had it up to like 140. He goes, 7. You were doing 7 miles an hour. It's driving down the road, just like...
Wasn't crashing into anything though, was it?
That's it. Nice and safe, apparently.
But yeah, it does bother me that you can literally buy alcohol at every corner shop.
Well, this is the
every
thing. More lives have been destroyed with alcohol and how readily available it is.
You smoke a joint, you're not going to go home and smash the missus, are you?
Yeah, it depends on
No.
with what.
Yeah. Different. Sorry, Trish, I'm leaving that in.
I didn't think it was that type of podcast. Guys.
We started off pretty
I'll
good.
tell you what. I'm very well behaved on the podcast.
What coping strategies help you with your mental health now? Is it exercise, writing, mindset tools?
It's definitely balance. I'm very much a balanced person, so I think the main thing is making sure I'm cooking good food for myself. So being organised enough and fiscally responsible enough to go to the supermarket early in the week. I normally only shop maybe once a fortnight and just get a little top up now and then. It fits best into my routine, so it's not stressful because, you know, I find going to the supermarket to be a very stressful event sometimes.
That's now my Sundays. My wife drags me to the supermarket every Sunday, and I think I've cost her about $200 extra in just the shit that I'm like, oh, grab that. She's like, but you come up with good meal ideas.
True.
I've changed my method. I used to go the veggies first, but now I go
meat first.
Ingredients.
Oh, yeah.
Veggies, meat.
Yeah.
And you plan the meat and the veg out.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Yeah. Cooking, especially now that I'm doing a lot of night shifts and I'm with an agency, it's an on-call casual type role. I do need to be a little bit more organised to sort of drop and go at times. I do big batches of cooking as well. My poor flatmate, I'm feeding her up. I'm sure she's stacking on weight now.
How do you get through a tough day?
I normally take my dog for a walk. Well, I take my dog for a walk every day anyway.
Yeah. Different.
I live right near the Waikato River, so I go sit down there and watch the river flow. It's pretty big. If you haven't heard of it. So.
It is a big one.
We'll go into your motorbike journey. You started on dirt bikes. Were you hooked straight away or terrified?
You'll have to ask my dad. But I always found quite a thrill out of it, going fast. I probably rode my horse faster at the time, to be fair. But
To the back of a bike's not a big jump.
no.
Yeah.
We
At
used
least
to ride them without saddles. And
Motorbikes
stuff.
are more predictable.
Yes. I do remember vivid memories of my cousins riding along behind me, yelling at me to change gear because, you know, I'm like 3 minutes out of it.
Red line. So what made you pick up riding again later on in life?
Well, I was riding that TS 185 and I had a couple of decent stacks on it out in the bush.
Yeah.
I hadn't really ridden it much, and like I said, Dad had sold it because I had fines that I didn't pay. And my little brother got a GN 250, sort of, I don't know, maybe it was like 90.
Yeah, I had one of them. Pretty cool bike.
It's a classic. If
It
you
is
haven't
a
had a
classic.
GN 250, do you even ride like?
Yeah, that's right.
And they're a great learner bike. It really gave me that a little bit of confidence I needed because it was so easy to ride, especially compared to some of the higher end dirt bikes. Jumping onto that, it's like driving the Toyota Hilux of motorcycles.
Yep.
So I got a story here that your dad took the pegs off his bike, so you had to ride your own.
Well, he had more than one road bike at the time. He took them off, all of them.
Oh,
All of them.
So if you want to come for a ride, you ride.
You have to get on your own bike.
Yeah.
I built it. Well, I don't think we really built that one. I think that was probably the only sort of going bike I've ever had. Oh, mate, we had to clean the carbies and stuff out, but other than that, it wasn't a huge go to get it going. But yeah, pretty much, if you want to come, ride your own bike or find your own way or whatever.
Perfect.
And now as more experienced rider is taking passengers themselves, I can totally understand. I'd rather go by myself.
So what's your best ride been with the Sulphur City Motorcycle Club?
Probably down to Wellington to visit our mates at the Kinsman. That's been definitely a highlight. I'm looking forward to getting down there again.
Straight down Highway 1? Or do you take the back roads?
Last time we went via 2. Like cut out to Hawke's Bay and then came back down through the Payards.
Yeah, cool. Twisties, yeah.
Twisties.
But I guess as a highlight for me, which, you know, it's not necessarily like a good memory, but last year in December, a few of our friends passed away after being hit by a methamphetamine-fueled driver on the wrong side of the road. He killed 3 people that day and severely maimed our friend Jeremy, who's now down a leg and an arm.
Unbelievable. Yeah. I remember when Chris found out about that, he had just broken his foot, just been knocked off his bike in Melbourne. He wasn't allowed to fly, but he would have swam if we had to let him. Absolutely gutted, wanted to get over there.
Yeah, that the Rusty Nuts and all you guys have been so supportive of him, especially because he is used to being in a close-knit family and club.
He's embraced us as much as we've embraced him, so that's a big part of his
Thank you guys.
Yeah, no,
taking care of him.
We love him. He's a good dude.
Ride, you know, it wasn't just about us because all the riders that day were from different clubs.
Yeah.
So it really...
Were you on the ride when it happened?
No, but I was sort of like, because I'm so involved on the internet and stuff as well, I'm normally one of the first people get in touch with.
Yeah.
Just probably because I'm most easy to get in touch with too, probably always got my phone in my hand.
Been quite huge news in New Zealand as well, was it?
It was on the front page of the paper that afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, would have rocked the community.
Especially because it was on State Highway 1.
Yeah.
And so close to Christmas.
Yeah, just one fuckwit, one bloke not worried.
That's why you got to live life to the fullest. You never know when it's going to come and catch up with you.
Exactly.
Yeah, one of the things we say on this podcast is it takes a certain person to jump on a bike in the first place. Like, you kind of have to have that understanding that your hobby could kill you.
Yeah.
Like if you don't fully understand that, you shouldn't be on the bike. You have to have that healthy respect that it's not just something I do that can go wrong here. There's someone doing something completely random.
There's kangaroos that could jump in front of you in the middle of nowhere. I went out for a ride last night up to the high country and did some twisties in the dark. It's a nice way to remind yourself that you're free and alive.
And very mortal.
Yeah, very mortal.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a good experience to get out and about.
How's riding shaped your life?
When Jeremy was transferred to our hospital, and it's literally, so it's daytime, I could open the curtain, you'd be able to see it. It's like a kilometre from here. That's become one of my roles and sort of in the club, is that I visit whoever's in the hospital. This is one of our main hospitals for the country. Spending all that time up there, I go up at least several times a week. I feel like that kind of gave me that push to sort of go back into nursing as well.
Yeah, that's great. No, you can help and make a difference.
I'm sorry, I totally just talked over your question.
No, you're all right.
New title for the video, nursing plants to nursing people.
Well, to be fair, I still have a very large garden and still a lot of plants.
Yeah.
So.
You'll have to send us some photos.
One day.
I'm going to need a thumbnail too, so you can think of a really good one. Sulphur City Motorcycle Club and the 40th anniversary is coming up very soon. What makes Sulphur City Motorcycle Club special?
Well, it's 40 years old.
Is it the
history? The history?
The people, the culture?
Well, 40 years is definitely a decent
Yeah, it's huge.
step.
What sucks is for me, you go 40 years ago, like it's like the 60s, right? You're like, no, dude, you're 40. You're 40. You're like, fuck. It's like, fuck, it's like 1980. That's a horrible realization.
85. Think back to 85.
Yeah.
You know, I was only in fucking nappies, mate. A 3-year-old.
I started high school in 88.
So back in the early days, they talk much about it at the club, the early days.
They do a lot. We were sort of one of the first clubs that really hit that rally scene really hard. Our club became famous for its rallies.
Yeah, nice.
So then poker runs, and later years more known for its charity events. It was more around big camp outs, motorcycle tours.
Walk us through a Sulphur City rally.
Well, we haven't had a proper rally for years. We're having one this year for 40th, so it's been quite a while. Normally people are just scooting around on their dirt bikes, got a big band up on the stage, wet t-shirt competitions, you got motorbike games, you know,
Can we
catch
get
the
video,
wind.
can we get video footage for that?
There's the thumbnail sorted.
This episode will be up before then. But we can do a carry-on one. We can maybe do a bloopers reel and add in that type of stuff.
But you've got families there. You've got kids riding around on their motorbikes, on their little peewees, scooting all around the place.
Sounds awesome.
Kids doing balance games with their siblings on the back, you know. Yeah. You got people bringing all the different motorcycle inventions and stuff.
Show them off.
People riding over the country on their scooter just to get there.
It's cool.
Yeah.
That Kiwi rally scene, it's pretty cool.
We're trying to, there's a couple popping up in Melbourne at the moment. The Redback Riders do one. We're going to get one of their guys on soon. I've spoken to their president. Try and get him on to have a chat about that when it comes up.
So what's planned for the 40th anniversary? You got some big rides, parties, charity work?
We do have a charity event coming up. We're doing a sponsorship for some kids going to play sports overseas. For our big 40th coming up, we have 2 nights of camping. It's $40 for 40 years. That includes dinner both nights, entertainment both nights. So we've got bands, DJs, stuff like that.
What type of numbers are you expecting for that?
We're hoping in the hundreds.
Hundreds, yeah.
Hundreds.
Yeah.
We've got camping available, so that's included in your costs. We will have some coffee vendors. We all need proper coffee. We're going to have motorcycle games on Saturday, like slow races. Of course, catch the weenie, because that's the best game. Weenie snatch, whatever they call it. We're going for a ride. It's not going to be a huge ride, but it's like some good rural roads, you know. So it's just back roads as well. So it's going to be a bit of fun. But, you know, if you're into that kind of thing, not everyone likes back roads, but slow down then, you know.
Yeah. Don't like back roads in Victoria at the moment. Yeah.
Back roads are as good as the main
Broken Roads,
usually.
Broken Promises rally coming up soon. It's
big rally coming up on Steps of Parliament. Yeah.
In November. 1st of November?
We'll find it.
It'll be on our socials.
Yeah. So where do you see the club in another 40 years? Still going strong, bigger, stronger?
Well, I guess my nephews are running the club then, because their grandfather is actually one of the first life members of the earliest members. So he's Sulphur City both sides, those boys. So
no choice.
It might be them running it in 40 years, I'd say.
I love seeing the kids come through clubs and take that pride from the start.
Multi-generational.
Yeah, it looks great.
What's next for you? In life, nursing, riding?
Well, I was going to have another sleep tonight. No, Nursing, that's a real hard one because I've kind of put myself in a position where I'm locked in. Like there's not a lot of options unless I go for another job.
Yeah.
Just because with this type of role, it's like not a lot of training included on the job, and you're not really getting those additional certifications to do different skills on the floor. And I will definitely be looking at evaluating what I'm doing probably after the 40th, because at least now I have the flexibility to have the time off when I need it. But motorcycle rides, whew, we were talking about going to Kinston Canterbury. I've already been to one of their runs once with my brothers. It was a great time. That's 4th of November, I think.
Yep.
They're doing a charity ride for Jeremy. So
Awesome. Yeah, that'd be great.
we're going to get as many of us as we can down there to support that.
I think the Rust Nuts threw in some money for his GoFundMe when it first kicked off. Yeah, that's pretty good.
We were so grateful for all the people that did chip in, blown away by the support he got.
So if he's mate of Chris's, mate is mate of ours.
Family, I guess Christmas is just around the corner as well.
Ticking away, coming close, coming quick.
If you could go back in time and talk to 16-year-old you, what would be your best advice or warning, encouragement? Where would you
I would totally tell
them?
myself to get a proper savings account. So when I decided I want to buy a house, what I did is I set up a different bank account at a completely different branch, completely different bank.
And forget it was there.
I set it up in a way that the only way I could get money out is to physically walk into the bank.
Yep.
And because of the hours I work most of the time, I actually can't do that.
Yep. And then just have a automatic direct debit into it.
Yep. And so the money's there if you need it. If it's a proper emergency, you can get that money out. But it is actually that difficult to go and do it, or that inconvenient.
Yep.
It makes you go, do I really need it?
Yeah. You'd do that way earlier.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's definitely some advice to all people.
Save your money.
Some of it at least.
Dumb shit's not worth it.
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes it is. You need to be. You need to be smart. You need to be smart. You need to have.
I
some
wish I could go
future.
back and say every dollar you spend on alcohol, you have to save as well.
Yeah.
Right? Something like that, eh?
Yeah, that'd be, because if I could, I would fucking hate to think of how much money I spent on alcohol. 'Cause I was always the bloke who would like go up to the bar and buy everyone around, you know.
I to a party with like 2 boxes and a bottle of hot stuff. What are you guys going to drink?
So, what does Twist the Throttle mean to you, Rebecca?
I think it's really great that you guys are out here offering this platform for people to share their stories and hopefully inspire other people, not just to make positive changes in their life, but to actually speak up about what they're going through, because like, yeah, definitely that whole problem shared, problem halved thing though,
Yeah,
that, you
yeah.
know, people don't know how to support you if you're not open, but also if you're not honest with yourself, you can't actually change.
That's right. We just try and share people's stories and hope somebody connects with it. We started off trying to give advice, and then we're like, we're not professional.
We know what
And,
we're talking about.
Only good thing I can be used for is a bad example.
Don't do this, kids.
That's good too.
Yeah, sometimes I.
But we're good at taking bits of each interview. There's people that have come on and I've taken from it.
It's
it's been really good.
It's
I
been-
hope
yeah.
I hope that everybody that's listening and watching is doing exactly the same thing, and taking snippets of it and making it work for them.
All right.
Get back into an advice-giving column type thing. Let me know. I'll give you guys some backup.
Oh,
You're part of, we haven't got this in our notes, but you're part of Better Brotherhood, yeah? Now, that's something Chris started when he was bored and working away.
Bored, we can foot,
doing
we can leave
the,
the house.
and then when he was doing the FIFO work, it was helping him fill some time as well. Now, I've lived my last 5 years with the motto of be better. Not better than anybody else, just better than yourself.
Better each day.
I really love what you and Chris have got with that Facebook group. So I hope it gets successful, and when you start your Be Better Brotherhood podcast, we can come on and be your guests. So,
Brilliant. Well, we're still definitely in the very early days of our formation, and just finding that sort of, with the kind of work I'm doing, finding that time to make the content and like,
Is there any
actively-
danger with your professional background? Are you allowed to do a podcast?
advice?
Yeah, like that.
To some extent, yeah.
I just mean, like,
it's
is there more of
individualised advice?
is there more of legal shit for you to deal with?
Well, it's not like I'm giving people specific medical advice around medication or
true,
treatment.
true. Yeah.
I'm specialised in psychology as well, so like I definitely don't feel like I'm going out of my wheelhouse
Yeah,
or my bag of tricks or knowledge or whatever you want to call it. I am educated in this field.
It was something I wanted to talk to you about. I saw something today. It was a guy talking about ADHD, and he said ADHD isn't a disease as people kind of view it. When you're a kid, you grow up in a high tense environment, and it's a coping mechanism, yeah, because as an adult, you've got fight or flight. as a kid, you can't do either of those things, so your brain sort of learns to distract itself and gives you, plays music in your head, or you go like 10 things at once, and all it is you learn that as a coping mechanism young, and that doesn't work as an adult.
Firm believer of that, as children, also as adults, we are just animals.
Yeah.
So it's only been in the last 200 years we've even lived inside.
Yeah, the hunter-gatherer.
Yeah, definitely.
And
so
aware of everything.
With the ADHD brain, that is literally your elite hunter-gatherer. You've got pinpoint perception, you've got agility, you can stop, you can track an animal for 12 hours and not get bored. Predator, apex right there. But
I think I go back to the times and think, fucking, what would they be thinking when they seen a rainbow? What the fuck? The first person that started a fire, you'd be like, fuck, look at me, go.
I love Norse mythology. I'm a big lover of all things Norse. If you stand under the Northern Lights, tell me you don't believe in God.
Exactly.
Yeah, like the rainbows dancing across the sky, like, fuck, of course there's magic.
Right,
like,
all the mushrooms, those guys,
exactly right. Love it. All right, we should have ended up there, so we're going to plug your event first. So the dates of the 40th anniversary, how can people get involved?
You can find us on Facebook. Just look up Sulphur City Motorcycle Club. You'll definitely find us. We're well tagged and shared and all of that. You can find us online, www.scmcc.co.nz. Our next event is our 40th anniversary coming up 17 to 19 October 2025. See you Friday night.
See you there.
All right, and we've got Barber's Choice.
We've got our sponsor to plug. We've got Barber's Choice. So
20% off. How rewarding is that?
Yeah, local company, beard oils and products, looking after us at the moment with the Throttle 20 code in their store. 10% of that 20% goes off to charity, so it's not just thank you to us, it moves on to other people as well.
Good for your bed. Good for the little pussy that was on me already. If you're watching YouTube, you'd know what that's about. So jump on our socials and you'll be able to support them, have a comment, whatnot.
And the Rust Nuts, our club, have a massive autism awareness ride coming up on the
25th of October.
25th of October. So meeting at Lumber & Co. in Brimbank Park.
I never knew it was there. What an amazing spot.
Yeah, we found that. We scouted the route and found a cafe that's going to look after us and do coffees and all that. So that's pretty cool.
Support your locals, right?
That's right. So they're going to help us out at the start of the day. We're going to head up through Mount Macedon, up to come back down to Dee's Souvlaki in Essendon.
And that's where their proper event.
And there'll be a proper event there. So there'll be kick games for the kids, and there's all sorts of stuff we've got organised as a club.
Supporting ICANN, and he's going to be there at the...
Yeah, so ICANN deals with kids with autism age 10 to 25. He's going to give a big speech at the start of the day, dealing mostly with kids at that age where they don't have the support, and gives them programs to teach them how to deal with what they're going through. So it's actually really good. We picked that charity because a couple of our members have kids with autism and they have been helped out by this charity. So we're going to
support them,
give them back. And we're hoping at the moment, if things keep tracking the way they're going, we should have about 300 odd bikes, which is terrifying.
Terrifyingly exciting.
Terrifyingly exciting. Our first charity ride was really good. We got about 80 bikes.
300's a bit bigger of an
It's
event.
a lot bigger event, and it's a lot tighter.
But there is potential. It could be a lot more than that.
Yeah, so we're getting that out there. We've got a pretty good name out in the community. We support most of the other clubs.
Make it a safe ride. That's the most important part about it.
That's it. So it's
Have
us.
you put up a link for people who can't make the ride that day but still would like to donate?
Yes,
certainly.
Yes. If you bounce, I'll send a QR code through on our socials that you can link into and donate some money. Thank you very much for making the time again, Beck, to come and talk to us again. Thanks for putting up with our technical difficulties.
Thanks for the take
Yeah.
I agree. Thank you very much, listeners. Thank you, watchers. And we'll catch you on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for riding with us today on Twist the Throttle. If you enjoyed the ride, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your crew. Remember, no matter how tough the road gets, you're never riding alone. Stay safe, stay open, and catch you on the next ride. Keep that throttle twisted.